Welcome back. I'm sure you remember how it was in the National Assembly in 2014 when lawmakers were decamping from one party to the other just before the 2015 election. Well, this week, two lawmakers announced their defections during plenary in the House of Representatives. Here's that report and other bills and motions considered this week. The day's plenary had started without any hint of what was to come. The Speaker of the House then called attention to a letter from Representative Tony Nwoye, a member of the People's Democratic Party from Anambra State, which he read to the House.
Together with multiple pending court actions and pronouncement in different courts recognizing and/or restraining each of the factions, the party's national secretariat at Wadata Plaza has been sealed because of the crisis. Sir, I do not belong to any of these three factions. I hereby notify you of my decision to join All Progressives Congress, APC. Minority Leader, what is your point of order?
Immediately, the Minority Leader raised a point of order.
As a PDPnarian, I can tell you categorically that no court in this land has declared that there is a faction in PDP. I therefore insist, Mr. Speaker, that if he really wants to be a member of APC, let him go to his constituency and test his popularity. He can vacate the seat, which is going to be your responsibility to do. He will go and test his popularity in Anambra and see whether he can win a councillor without the party PDP.
When it appeared a heated debate would commence, the Speaker made it clear there would be no debate on the matter. He also read another letter from Representative Emmanuel Udende from Benue State on the same issue. Speaking after the proceedings, however, the Minority Leader said the party will contest the matter in court.
There must be something to show. And if I have the vote and proceeding tomorrow, I will head straight to my party. I will call a party meeting and we'll be heading to court to make sure that we vacate their seat within the shortest period of time. Because they have negated the clear spirit of the Constitution. They have offended their own oath of allegiance. And I think what they've done clearly is a violation of the provision of Section 68, specifically sub G of the Constitution.
The next few days will confirm if this is an isolated case or the beginning of a series of defections.
The Senate has summoned the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI, to appear before it. This, according to members of the Upper Legislative Chamber, will help the Senate find solutions to issues of non-remittances and underpayments to the Federation's account.
The sum of $3.8 billion and 358.3 billion naira stand as outstanding revenues from the NNPC and its subsidiaries in 2013. These outstanding payments were dues from unpaid consideration from divested oil mining leases from NNPC to MPDC and the cash call refunds by the National Petroleum Investment and Management Services. Disturbed that between 2015 and 2013, the sum of $12.9 billion paid by the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas (LNG) to NNPC was not remitted to the Federation account.
When you look at unexplained losses of close to 1 trillion, I think that for this matter was too enormous for us to just allow it to slip by. That the prayer, I guess, which is also DSP is saying, is not for us to debate the report today, but to seek the leave of the Senate to allow the management, the MD, to come and explain to the entire Senate. This matter, I believe, has that level of enormity that it is too huge. If you think that the total budget of the country is 6 trillion, and here we're talking about revenue losses of 1 trillion, then at that point, the report can be presented, it is debated, and we can now take a way forward.
The Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Media and Publicity says there is no negative intent behind the amendment to the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act by the House. Addressing journalists in the National Assembly, the lawmakers said the House was just doing its legislative job. He explained that the National Assembly was not usurping the powers of anyone, but the action was taken in a bid to caution public office holders.
I want to say that this bill was not done with any other intention. It was the intention to always improve laws, just like other bills have been emanating from the House. And as legislators, we have to do our constitutional right duties in order to pass laws, make amendments, repeal certain laws, and this is exactly what we've done in this case by amending this bill. So I think people should not allude to the fact that it was done with any kind of intentions. There are several laws, and again I want to tell you that even if this law is passed and then the Senate concur, it cannot operate in retrospect. So if there's somebody who is in court, it's not as if the person is going to enjoy from this law. A law does not take effects in retrospect. So I think that should cater for this issue once and for all.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, has condemned in strong terms the reported killing of young men and women by security operatives in parts of the southeast. At Tuesday's legislative proceedings at the Senate, Senator Ekweremadu raised a point of order, drawing the attention of the upper chamber to the incident in the southeast region of the country. The Deputy President of the Senate further noted that the country had recorded so much bloodshed in various parts of the country in the past. As such, security agencies must apply caution in quelling perceived disturbances in any part of the country.
I got a number of calls about a disturbing clash between the youths, different parts of Southeast, and security agencies, leading to the death of many people, both the young men and security agencies. Order! I'd like to use this opportunity under Order 43 to say that the security agencies must apply caution in trying to quell disturbances. We've had so much of bloodbath in this country under different circumstances, and we cannot continue to lose our young men and women because the future of this country belongs to them.
On Thursday, the House of Representatives took a position on the same matter. The House mandated the Committees on Human Rights, National Security and Intelligence to investigate the reported killings in the southeastern Nigeria. This resolution followed the motion moved by Representative Chukwuma Onyema, who expressed concern on the increase of extrajudicial killings by security agencies in the country. The House also urged the federal government to review and formulate a more efficient mechanism for the engagement with aggrieved individuals who threaten the nation's security. The committees are to report back to the House in 2 weeks.
The House further notes the increase of the spate of extrajudicial killings by security agencies in Nigeria. The House is concerned that in spite of the outcry, investigations, and wide condemnation of this trend, there seems to be no cessation of same. Aware that the rights of freedom of association, expression, and peaceful assembly are enshrined in the Constitution of our great country, Nigeria. The House is further aware that the rule of law and respect for rights of citizens are cardinal ingredients for the survival of our democracy and consolidation of our democratic gains. The House is cognizant of the fact that Nigeria's dismal human rights records are largely predicated on unprovoked, widespread, and forceful engagements of our security agencies on unarmed civilians.
Wow, what a week. Thanks for being here with me on the program as we reviewed the activities of the National Assembly. I'm Lanre Lasese. Thanks for being there. See you next week.